Welcome back to the Birds on Powerlines podcast. And with these podcasts, we talk about things that we enjoy. We release a podcast every second Tuesday of the month, and you can find us on various audio platforms as well as here on YouTube, which is what we're concentrating on right now. And if you're listening on audio, please check us out on our YouTube channel because there's other things at the YouTube channel that you might enjoy. Okay, so in this particular podcast, the thing that is most prevalent in our mind, and we're going to talk about, which if you are looking at us on YouTube should be obvious because we have a number of Grogus around.
Yes.
So we are going to be talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yes.
And we saw that, what, 4 or 5 days ago?
Yes.
4 or 5 days ago. And I don't know about you, but I have not been looking at what people are saying. So I don't know. I can imagine, but I am not paying any attention to that. So you're going to get my, unbiased, or what do we say? It is biased because it's my opinion, but uninfluenced take on stuff. Have you been looking at stuff? I think you have. A little bit more.
Not too much.
More than I have, I think, I guess. But yeah. So, and we haven't really talked too much about it. So that's why we do this. If you're new to Birds on Powerlines, we try not to talk about stuff until we're here. It's why we started doing this anyways, because we have these conversations. And we decided to share them with you. Okay. So how do you want to do this? Do you want to...
I just wrote stuff down.
Yeah, we write. We write stuff down.
Yeah,
and I'll apologize right away because when it comes to Star Wars, I have trouble remembering all of the names of things. The only thing I did do before this is try to look up the names of the different characters, and I'm going to have to refer to that because I can't remember. I mean, I'm obviously, Mandalorian and Din Djarin, I know that, but the other characters that pop in and out.
Okay.
So I'll apologize. So I'm gonna. I took notes and I wrote big, so I'm gonna put my glasses on. Okay. So why don't we just talk about what why don't you start? Your first impressions, and then we'll start there. Do you want to do that?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay. All right.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. It was. I mean, this is something I have seen like criticisms for. Like it just felt like a long episode or a bunch of little episodes stitched together, but like I didn't really mind that.
Episodes of
the TV show.
The TV series.
Oh yeah, of the series.
It's on Disney, right?
Yeah, it's on Disney. Yeah.
I'm starting they're all starting to mush together. Disney, Netflix, Amazon.
Yeah, but
whatever.
I honestly didn't really mind that because it's a movie continuation of a TV series, so of course it feels a little bit serialized, and I believe like this was originally supposed to be like season 4. I think. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. Like the one thing that I saw was that there was something going on in Hollywood. Something, but I don't know if it was
I don't know.
Was that another strike or something? So they were concentrating on season 4, and then they decided to go with a movie.
Yeah. There's something about it.
So now season 4 is sort of open. They don't know if there's going to be a season 4 as of the time we're recording this because I did. As I was looking at, because I was at Wikipedia. And I looked for the character listing, and I saw that the note that season 4 is not really a thing right now. It's just being talked about because they did the movie instead. Yeah. So I guess that's sort of where that went. But yeah,
I mean, I feel like it wouldn't really make sense to do a season. It's not really necessary to do a season 4.
Well, who knows? I mean, I'm going to talk about things that I'd like to know
honestly,
a bit more about.
Really necessary
but
I
think the privilege of doing a film though gives them more time and more of a budget to do bigger things.
Sure. Yeah.
So in terms of, I'm going to take to your point about it being. I mean, you could sort of say, and I guess while I was watching it, I was like, oh, we could make a couple of episodes here and here and here, like because if you're familiar with the show, you kind of know how they end things. Yeah. But the thing is, if they had done that, they wouldn't have been able to have the budget that they had.
And it probably would have been way more filler. Probably another plot somewhere.
Whereas they would have I'm going to get to that, but the fact that they had the effects that they had, and they had the budget to do the do you call it animation? I guess you do.
Yeah.
Right, when
yeah.
you're using the miniatures or whatever. So they
Oh
had
no, that'd be puppetry.
no, but they also had the
the
miniatures,
yeah.
right? They had it, so they had more time to do that kind of thing. So they were able to incorporate things that they might not have been able to incorporate if they hadn't had that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So that's why when it started, like for me, I really loved the start of it because it really felt like a full blown Star Wars thing going on there with that whole fight scene and all of the things that they had in that.
I did see some criticism that the AT-AT was too, like, it seemed really weak, like in comparison to like Rogue One, where the AT-ATs are clearly like tearing up the beach and everyone's like freaked out.
Yeah, but you also have to look at where the AT-AT was. And I don't think that was
on the side of a mountain. Yeah. Also spoilers for the rest of the movie. If you haven't seen the movie,
I figure most again. I like we just did an episode of other things that we were talking about, but you can check back. We had the same thing. Yeah. What was that one that we were talking about spoilers? I didn't want to do spoilers. And then you said, how could we not do spoilers? So anyways, there's spoilers here. Yeah. Hopefully you imagine that. But
especially by the time this podcast is released.
Yeah, because this is going to take a bit of time. Yeah. Because the things that we're going on, so we're sort of recording for things in future. So so we'll take a while for this to come out. But even so, it's still valid. Yeah. So, for me, so I said is that the end of your immediate reaction? So me, I said immediate reaction, really fun, in the same spirit as episodes 4 from Star Wars. Right? 4, 5, and 6. So that kind of thing. And I think that is the feel that jonfavreau wanted. Probably. Because I saw an interview with him saying that he wanted to create that magic for the new kids. Yeah. And I sort of put it in that sort of category. I think he succeeded in that. It did feel very much like that. It was fun. It was not... I mean, it didn't take itself too seriously. Do you know what I mean? It was, and it was, so it was really family friendly. It's, I think I did.
It's the most family friendly you can get about a bounty hunter.
Yeah, because you got Grogu there. So so there was like a really fine line. I think that they were playing with that. So it has to, there was a certain edge to it and things, and there was some comedy in it. Like it was a very typical Mandalorian episode. Like very long though. Yeah. And right away you're confronted with the nonsense that he always gets himself involved in. That's why he, famously to me, the Mandalorian is always like the deep sigh. Like he's always doing that.
He's the most. I've seen things before. Like Din Djarin is the most like trying to avoid being the main character in all of Star Wars.
He's like constantly getting
so it was
absolute mayhem going from one thing to another and seeing him react to the moment, and that is it was exactly like a Mandalorian episode. I think initially when the movie came out, I saw someone saying, well, it's not Andor. Like it's not supposed to be Andor. I mean, Andor to me is Star Wars for like people my age, that want it dark and really very highly politically relevant. Like, I mean, whereas this is not, so yeah.
I mean, I feel like it'd be more apt to compare it to like Skeleton Crew. Like, I mean, that's not in the movie. Well, Andor isn't in the movie either, honestly.
But in terms of things in the franchise, right? So I mean, I think Skeleton Crew is even more.
Like in terms of that one's.
I think maybe Mandalorian and Grogu is somewhere in between. Yeah, because the main cast is children. I feel like it's. I mean, you got this baby.
I feel like it's between Skeleton Crew to like Ahsoka. In terms of like not hugely like crazy
and it was meant to be fun.
Star Wars, not Star Wars stuff. Yeah.
But I mean, you could argue even in episode 4, there were some really dark things that happened. They blew up a planet, but but it did.
Obi-Wan died.
But so there were things like that, But yeah, so that was my first thing. So I said I did hear an interview where he said he wanted to create the same vibe for a new generation of young ones, fans, younglings, that would have that magical experience or first initiation to Star Wars. And I say, why the hell not, right? Yeah. So let's do that, more of that.
I mean, I think it probably was rated about PG or something like that.
I don't know. I really liked the scene with the warlord. I looked up his name, Barrow. And that was, and it was just a
good
wild
opening scene, yeah.
seat of your pants kind of thing. Exactly what you expect with the Mandalorian. So that was what I wrote down.
Mandalorian looks cool. Makes cool entrance. Grogu.
The nice thing about dealing with things like the Mandalorian and Grogu is that you're not dealing with Jedi, so you don't have all the rules and all that kind of lore-y kind of stuff that you're so here you're not bound by that, so there's no rules. And the rules of engagement are just, I need to survive this fight, there's and it doesn't, so that's kind of the fun thing. It's just, and I guess if you want to compare that to Andor, that you can, right, because there's the Jedi element is not in Andor either. Yeah. So that's the part that kind of makes this feel like a Western shootout, right? So that's sort of what we're dealing with, and I liked it. I really liked it, right? And don't get me wrong, I loved Andor on a different level, right? That was a different level, but that's not what I think this was about. So I don't know. Anyways, next point.
Sure. Yeah.
What were you surprised by? That was the next thing that I talked about.
When all the Hutts just at various points, but especially Rana, just started speaking English.
Because they could speak English?
Speaking Galactic Basic. That that kind of freaked me out a little bit. Because
that's the thing that surprised you?
No, because I'm so used to all of the Hutts speaking Huttese, and even
and then having the subtitles underneath.
Well, no, I mean, even
they had a bit of that.
Yeah, they did. No, but did episode 4 have subtitles with Jabba? I don't think so.
I can't. No.
I don't think it did. They don't have subtitles, so they've never had subtitles before. I mean, I understand why.
I'm just trying to think back. How did they do that? I don't think there was subtitles, but Han was just talking, and then responding to what he was saying, so you could figure it out.
And then in episode 6, I don't know. 3PO it's translating. But
it's been such a long time since I've seen that, and
I'm
sorry, but that's not something I pay attention to.
I don't think they would have had subtitles in a movie.
Are you saying that they didn't have subtitles back then?
Well, no, I don't think they would have thought to do that. But I don't think they needed to because it wasn't.
I don't remember. I was young.
Anyway. No, yeah, but then I could see it with Rana because he's a pretty
he's
major
more worldly.
Character. Yeah, and
he was
also,
out there doing his thing.
Specifically, does not want to be like his dad.
He was being
but
rebel.
when the twins just started speaking English, just basic, just randomly, that was okay.
Yeah, that was not the thing that surprised me. I was not even thinking about that.
I understood why they did that, but I just didn't. I didn't like it. I did not like.
Oh, you're just used to them speaking and not knowing what they're saying. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I understand why they did that. I understand why the decision was made for them to speak it without the need for subtitles, but that just freaked me out. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, kids. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know that. Okay. To your point,
it makes sense.
That's
why
okay.
They did that,
That's not the thing that surprised me, though. Okay. So for me, I was surprised by the story. I was expecting that we would see more of the characters that we're familiar with.
Yeah.
In the Mandalorian, and I actually went and I listed. The first thing that surprised me was Zeb, that pilot.
I knew that.
I had no idea. I was like, who is this character?
Okay.
When does he have a pilot?
I love Zeb. No.
I mean, I thought he was great, but that was the first thing that surprised me because I don't know about the other stuff.
I think
and having that character, I was just surprised because Mando always flew his own.
Yeah, but I think probably partially the reason that Zeb was there is because Mando is now working for the new.
Well, that was the other thing that surprised me.
That
he was officially working.
He's kind of working.
Well, sort of. I mean, I think I say this later on, and I'll just say it now since we're talking about it. I guess because they left off season 3 with him saying he's going to sort of settle down. Yeah. So I guess it makes sense that if he was going to, I mean, he'd have to do something to earn money, and he's a bounty hunter.
But
so that's what he's going to do.
He has a kid, and he
so I guess that would make sense, but I was not prepared for that. So I wasn't prepared for someone else piloting a spaceship, and the fact that he was literally working,
for the New Republic.
New Republic. Especially after trying to avoid them.
Well, I mean, I feel like it makes sense that he's working for the New Republic now because
in hindsight,
the whole, everything that went wrong in the previous
so in hindsight, it makes sense,
so,
but it's not what I was expecting. Like I said, I was expecting it to be more of
Yeah.
what we were used
But
to in
then,
seasons 1 to 3, right?
And, like also now he has a kid who actively is being hunted by the Empire remnants, more or less.
Well, he
pretty
was
much.
always being hunted.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing.
But, like,
he was essentially, that was the beginning. He was the person.
Yes, yeah. Well, no, but
Until he realized what was going
the Empire
on.
remnants really, really wanted him, and that type
Yeah.
of thing. Like Moff Gideon really wanted him. But,
Yeah. But anyway, then things where I would have expected to see people that we'd seen was Pelly.
Yeah,
I was expecting to see her.
Yeah, I was expecting to see her.
But she wasn't there. Especially it would have been a great opportunity with the new Razor Crest, have him cut, because then he had what are the little guys' names again?
And Zellens.
Anzellans. Yeah, I wrote that down. He had the little Anzellans.
I love them.
Put them together.
I love them.
just to what do you call that? Souping it up, making it more,
Light.
Whatever.
Making it more fast.
Make it more responsive. So I would have thought that he would have taken it to her,
that makes sense.
and then have her people do it. But no, that's not what happened. We didn't see the armorer, and
no, we didn't see the rest.
So that would have been kind of neat.
We kind of saw a flyover of the Mandalorian.
Yeah, but I kind of would have, because that would have been a nice thing to tie in, especially now that he's really being a youngling and he's putting on his armor. So it would have been nice to have a little bit more of a Mandalorian element to it.
Sure, yeah.
So that was something that surprised me that I was expecting that I didn't see. Grief Karga, I kind of thought that,
since they're living on his planet.
Yeah, especially when he went home. Yeah. And aren't the little Anzellans working for him?
Yeah, they are.
Right? So I kind of
or
thought
that working like they know him.
Yeah, because I mean that's when you were introduced to them, right? So that's why so that was the other one. Maybe Cara Dune, that would have been kind of neat.
No,
that one would have been a stretch, but
no, because they kind of cut ties with the actress.
Oh, well, but I'm talking about the story.
I'm not... story. Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I'm not going to pay attention to the real world. Okay. Who knows? Okay. I mean, maybe they just couldn't get any of those actors to do anything in this show. So who knows, right? But anyways, and then, like I said, a little bit more of the I guess bringing in Bo-Katan wouldn't have worked, but I was just kind of missing a Mandalorian element.
Sure. A little bit of a carryover. More than just the Anzellans and the main characters.
Yeah, and I mean, the only thing really that they refer to in terms of the way or whatever is he had like two sentences where he say like the old take care of the young and the young take care of the old, and this is the way. He said that once, and the thing with the helmet. But other than that, there really wasn't very much of a Mandalorian kind of through line here, right?
Yeah,
so in that respect, I was kind of thrown by the brand new kind of storyline. We have a completely new storyline based on Hutz and his thing with the New Republic. So so that was and then it's, given that we were with the New Republic, I kind of was looking for Captain Teva. Captain Teva.
He was there.
He was there at the end. He was finally there. And of course
he was in. I think he was in the bar as well.
Was he in the bar?
I think so.
I can't remember.
I don't quite remember.
So but that I kind of lit up when I saw.
I was a little bit distracted by the bar scene.
Yeah,
because of Dave Filoni.
I did not see Dave Filoni in the
Mr. Star Wars.
I did not see that, so I missed that.
President of Star Wars.
But I was very happy when I saw Captain Teva. Is that how you say it? Captain Teva?
Yeah.
Because we are such fans of Kim's Convenience, and when I
see
him,
he's part of Delphi Squad, and of course he's there.
So when I see him, though, I always say Uppa, right? So if you have not seen Kim's Convenience, you have got to check that show out. It's not a science fiction thing, but it's just so good. But yeah, so we knew the actor's name is Paul Lee.
Yeah.
We knew him from that, and he's always going to be Uppa to me, no matter how many times he shows up as Captain Teva. I'm always going to see him as Uppa. But anyway, so I was really excited.
Good for him that he's in
he's in all of them. I just because when I was looking up the names of stuff, he's in he's in Ahsoka, and he's in this. He's in all of them now.
Skeleton Crew? No. Was he?
Can't remember if he was in Skeleton Crew, but if you look, he's he's managed to get himself into everything, and I'm so proud of him.
He's just the guy in Star Wars.
He's just there, So every time I see Uppa, I'm happy. So he's always Uppa to me, not Captain Teva. So yeah. So there was that. But yeah. But yeah, but they did, like we were just saying, they did bring back the Anzellans, and I think that was the whole play up with Grogu, because they're good baby, bad baby, that kind of thing, and a little tiny spaceship. And I saw that coming, that he wouldn't be able to get in the spaceship. But it was convenient for them because they were able to get onto the Hutt's planet, whatever that planet is called again. I don't know.
Nalhutta.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, Nalhutta.
Okay. And without being detected, because they had such a teeny tiny ship. But so those were the things that sort of surprised me. So here we have a new story, completely new. Has there actually been any Hutts in The Mandalorian at all?
No.
I think they just once or twice might have referred to them because they're gangsters, right?
Yes,
so
they're the
they have the cartel. So other than that, I don't think we've actually ever seen a Hutt in Mandalorian. No. So that's why I was really kind of surprised by the whole storyline. But anyways, okay, we're doing this now. So I was fine with that. I just that was what surprised me about that, not subtitles, but
sure. I guess. Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, this is like completely new.
And then I guess also not just the thing about Hutts, but also like for me also, at some points it kind of felt like Mando went down a little bit too easy.
Yeah,
but for the plot. But
you mean when
the room was flooded with smoke? I'm like, wait,
he
conceal his helmet? He can steal his helmet. He can do that. But whatever.
That was the inconsistency that got you.
Yeah,
there was one that got me, and I can't let it go. Do you want me to tell you what it is?
Sure, since we're on the subject.
I wrote it down. The lamp when Grogu was trying to tend to Mando in the little structure he built. Where the heck did that lamp come from? I was so distracted by the lamp.
He probably stole it from the fish guy.
I don't know, but I mean that was the thing. I was just like, where did that lamp come from?
Or maybe Mando just had. It would make sense that,
I don't know.
He just has one.
How is he going to have that in his? So like if it was a little teeny tiny thing, but it wasn't. It was like a.
I don't know.
Anyway, so that was. I'm sorry, but that distracted me. I was just like looking at the scene. I was like, where did that lamp come from?
I would think he probably snatched it from the fish guy.
I guess you can make all kinds of assumptions, but I found that a distractor. I was like really distracted by that, but
I don't know.
Okay, so if you didn't,
I was thinking. I noticed it, but I thought either Mando had it, or I was thinking he just had it. Like I was thinking it was just something he had.
I don't know. I was so distracted by that.
Yeah,
that might have been in a scene that they cut. I don't know, but I was distracted by that. But so I wasn't thinking about what you were saying. Seal the helmet. My brain isn't that sophisticated. I was just like, oh, where'd that lamp come from? So that was the distractor. Okay, so you want me to? What else did you want to talk about? Because I think my next thing was.
I wrote stuff down in like the order of like.
Okay,
scenes that
go ahead. So you go
cool.
go where you haven't.
I mean,
What have you not yet talked about on your list?
Most things actually, but
you've talked about most of it.
No, I have not talked about.
Oh, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Oh, yeah, I mean, okay, whatever. But the one thing I knew about going into it was that people absolutely loved the score. I agree.
Okay, so I have nothing about the score, so let's talk about that. I think it's always great. It's almost like when you're comparing Mando and Andor, I think
it's totally different. But
it's totally different, but it's similar in the fact that they have their very original kind of not like the other Star Wars franchise music.
It was great.
And the one for, especially at the end, didn't I say at the end when they were doing the credits, it was like a little tango.
That one up. Actually,
I loved all the plays on the Mandalorian theme that they did there, and if you listen at the end during the credits,
it was written for the snack shop. For the little vendor guy, I believe.
Oh, I'm going to talk about him. He's one of my favorite characters. I thought he was fantastic. But so the I love that, So I feel like, but unlike Andor, it doesn't have that sort of heavy thing to it. It's more playful. But it's very distinctive kind of. Yeah.
And my favorites were, of course, the one that everyone is talking about, the Shikari theme, that like cool electric one.
Yeah, I didn't hear.
I love that one.
You hear the music. I don't.
It's one of the shortest ones, and I'm so mad about that. I also really loved.
Maybe we should get the soundtrack, and then you can listen.
It's streaming. It's on streaming.
Sorry, I don't do that yet.
I also really loved the Rada theme. That was great. That was so cool. Those two are like the shortest ones.
I don't even know what they are. You'd have to play them for me.
Yeah.
To me, it's just I don't hear it.
They're the shortest ones. On the
I hear it,
thing,
but I don't pay attention to it.
I'm so mad about that, but whatever.
Did you listen to them before?
No.
Okay.
I mean, I heard the Shikari one because it's everywhere. It is everywhere.
What do you mean everywhere?
It is. Like,
where are you going to hear it? What do you mean by everywhere?
Like looking on like posts and stuff, like Instagram, whatever. Like you see, like people have made videos about like, oh, I went to see the movie, blah blah blah, or like people have made videos specifically about this song from the movie and how like.
Okay, you have to show me some of those.
It's great. Yeah, but I already knew about that one going into it, so I had high expectations for the score, and I was not disappointed.
Okay, so I have nothing about the score because
yeah.
Just now that you're talking about it, I did notice the tango themed one. I thought, oh wow, like
during the credits, yeah.
During the credits,
yeah, when there's nothing else to look at.
Because I'm paying more attention to what's on the screen. I don't hear that other stuff. I just enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that.
Anything else about music?
No, that was it.
Okay. What else is on your list?
I wanted to mention because you were talking about like, oh, who is Zeb? Why is he here? There was a guy sitting behind us in the theater that yelled at the screen, "Oh my gosh, it's Zeb!" And I was, that was great. That was so
Zeb, for those for anyone who's listening to this podcast who doesn't know where Zeb is from,
Zeb is from one of the animated shows, Rebels. Yes.
Okay, so that's how people would recognize that character.
Yeah, from like 2010s. It's
so it would make sense to have him there.
Yes.
In this timeline.
Yeah.
But for people like me who have not watched that, would be like that's why I had it.
So
like, who the hell is that?
Zeb was part of Hera from Ahsoka, who is part of her crew, Hera and Sabine, and Ezra.
I don't know. I wasn't I had a lot of issues with Ahsoka, so.
Okay. Well, anyway,
if there's a season 2 of that, we'll podcast on it.
There will be.
And then
I think there will be.
You will hear my beefs with that show.
Okay. Well, I liked it. Okay, never mind. Mostly because of all the characters in it, but okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway.
You have a plush one on your.
Yeah.
Bed.
I love Ahsoka.
So yeah, when we ever do that, that's going to be appearing somewhere. In this.
At some point.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so what else did I like? But okay, new story, Rod of the Hut. The fight scene. Yeah, like you kind of know.
Please
no.
More
like,
specific.
Okay. Oh, come on. Right. So he's with the gangster and he says, "Would you like to join my, thing of gladiators or whatever? It would be really great to have you there." So Coin. That's going to happen.
Or Coin. Coin. Yes.
Yeah. Whatever. So I'm going to talk about that too. But I think that scene, even though it was predictable, he lights out for Mando and guess what? He wakes up next to the ring.
Yes.
So, I mean, I think in a way that was a little bit predictable, but even so, it was fun to watch. And that they're going to have to work together, right? And that Mando is not going to do anything to Rada. He's not going to do that. Then he comes to the realization that, he was wrong and Mando was right. So let's work together, right? But I did not expect all the monsters to get out of the ring.
No, that makes sense.
I guess it makes sense, but then it provides.
It's not like they're gonna let them out of the ring.
No, and the other thing that I thought was really well done was like in the salt bar right before, it lights out for Mando. I really like that whole thing in the salt bar and him putting that brick of salt in the drink of that. Yeah. What is that creature's call? I actually wrote it down.
I should know this.
It's in here somewhere. I wrote it down.
I should know it.
He put it in, and I had it in here. Okay. Anyways, Janu?
No, Janu's the guy.
Yeah, can't find it.
Well, it's fine.
Anyways, I thought that was that whole thing with him putting the salt into the drink of that guy.
Chopping off his horn.
Chopping off his horn.
Come on, man! You don't do that.
I just like that whole scene.
Yeah.
So that, and then the gladiator kind of scene.
I like the Dejaric fight because they literally just put all the characters from the Dejaric game. Like in the arena, that's really, really
is that what that was?
It's the space chess
Oh, oh,
Yeah, and there's an Easter egg in there where one of the creatures like performs the exact same movement that like it did like in like episode 4, like on the board.
Yeah.
On the hollow board.
Yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Oh my
Yeah.
God, that is so cool.
Yeah.
I did not
So it was
know
a really
that.
good, really good callback. To
Ah, that is awesome. And of course, Jonfavreau would do that.
Yeah.
Okay, that was very cool.
Yeah.
It's like it came to life.
Yes. Yeah.
I
and
did.
even the arena floor actually was like, I think it was patterned like that.
I don't know. I didn't pay attention to that, but it
yeah.
probably was.
It probably was.
Probably
yeah.
was. But yeah, knowing Jon Favreau, he would do that,
Yeah.
and call out to anyone who would notice that, and I didn't notice it. But but very cool. So I really liked that scene. I did think it was a little bit of a stretch that Commander Coin being the same person that they were trying to get.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, look, with the runtime of the movie, like what?
Yeah, I know,
else
but
could
I was
they
like,
really
oh, how
do?
convenient. But it was cool the way Zeb, worked with them to get Rada into the ship, and like I really enjoyed that whole
That was
sequence.
Good, yeah.
So there was that.
It's the waving the finger. Yeah. I was
very very well done. The other thing that I was when I was thinking about it, that whole scene with Grogu and the fisherman, it had sort of a Disney-esque feel to it to me somehow. Like it was like, like here he is on his rocking chair, and it reminds me of like when you go to Disney and that place with all the bears and in the anyways. You probably don't even remember that part, but it's in the Magic Kingdom, and you've got all the bears, and they're doing their little, country bumpkin thing, and it just reminded me of that. It gave me that feel, and here is this creature on the rocking chair, and he's got the fish drying there. I just thought, wow, that feels like a really Disney thing there, and then him stealing the fish, and then. That whole thing, because he's still a baby. He's still a little.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more of a toddler at this point. But.
It's kind of a weird thing, though, right? With Grogu is like sometimes he's very grown up, and other times he's not. So it's kind of.
One thing I did write down about like that whole like sequence with like. I was really worried that Mando was going to die, because like there's a track record of pedropascal characters.
Yeah, well, that's a Pedro thing.
Dying, and there's
but think about it. If they're going to end this series,
they would have him die. That's why I was like a little bit worried. I didn't see anything about it, so I was like, it probably is fine. But like you don't really know.
I see a death in in Mando's future, but But to your point, you were saying about the Hutts living for a long time, and then Rada living for a long time,
and like Hutts live for
centuries, and so do these little guys. So and then you were thinking, if anything ever happens to Mando, then maybe Rada will take care of Grogu, because they both live for hundreds of years, barring any unforeseen poisonous snakes.
But anyway,
and pits.
like I was saying with that whole like scene of Grogu basically like taking care of Mando and stuff, I really liked that. See, I really like that whole sequence. Like you kind of.
But of course, they had to. I don't know if I appreciated him trying to put him into that little mud hut that he made, and he kept getting like donk, donk.
Yeah.
I don't know if I appreciated that. I think that
was probably for children.
Yeah,
but
I guess. But it felt like really lowbrow humor, like somehow, and I was just like, okay, all right, let it go. So I don't know if I really apprecited that. Especially since Grogu did such a great job. Look at Grogu go,
Yeah. And I thought it was like really like honestly a little bit heartbreaking. Like he was having to like kind of tuck himself in. He's like snuggled up.
And then he wakes up and he's like by himself. It's like, okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there was that, so there was that little interlude before like the end. Let me just think. What else did I like? Oh, I was going to say, but with the fry cook, that character's name is Hugo Durant, actually.
Yes.
I thought that was great. That whole thing. And was he a puppet? I'm thinking he is.
No. Maybe partially.
I thought that was really well done.
Yeah.
I really liked that whole thing. It was great. It was such a short little thing, but that was well done. I really liked that scene.
No, I mean, I think I feel like he looked more like in terms of like, I guess realistic. He looked more on the scale of like how Zeb looked than how Grogu.
Yeah,
and the
like
Anzellans
somewhere in
were.
between.
Because
Anyway,
you can tell that Grogu and the Anzellans are puppets. You can tell that for the most part. But
yeah, I don't
him,
know.
I don't think he was.
That was.
I think that was.
However, it was that was. I thought that was really, really a good scene.
Yeah.
And then him closing up the shop and like the whole that was well done, and the forearms kind of thing, like that was.
I appreciate the fact. I noticed
thought
this
it was well
during the movie. I appreciated the fact that they made all the arms doing different things.
Yeah.
Like, that was good. That was good because it's similar
well
to like
done.
what they were doing with so in one of the in the Star Wars game that I love playing in Jedi Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, they have
the one that I keep thinking I would never play that.
They have a four-armed character, Greed's. He's not the same. They're not the same species, but they do have another like multi-limbed character, and they did the same thing with that. So yeah, I appreciate the fact that all of the arms seem to have different autonomy, like just a real person.
I really like that. Yeah. And then the other thing that I liked, I think, okay, so I'm towards the end of me. Mm-hmm. I really liked, okay, so Fry Cook, the opening, the end, right? And so I had Din Djarin versus Rada. I really like that. Din Djarin and the snake and the dragon snake. I thought that was, I mean, how could you not like that? Right? You know, he's in the pit there, and you know, I did not see the poisoning thing coming, but because I don't know what those snakes do, but there was that. And then the other one, the salt, yeah. Salt. And actually, here I wrote it down. That. Salt. Oh, his name was Intaki.
I cannot read.
Fog's breath.
I cannot read.
I wrote it down.
I can't read it.
Cutting off his thing, but the last scene, which we haven't talked about yet, was the last fight scene, and they each had their own little battles to look after. Yeah. So Grogu and the dog thing, and I looked that up, and I can't remember what it's called.
Grogu was doing the force thing with like the calming animals thing. That was cool. That was cool. That was great.
I thought he was gonna like actually fight him a little bit, but then he's like, no, good doggy.
Yeah, he wouldn't do that.
Good doggy. And then Mando with that other bounty hunter, and I can't remember his name. But he reminded me of the one in.
He looked like Cad Bane. I was honestly thinking it was Cad Bane.
Is that the one that from the series? The one where
yes, the one that shoots Cobb Math.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I was actually
I was thinking the same thing.
When he first appeared, I was like, "Is that Cad Bane?" But it wasn't Cad Bane. It was because of the hat. It's because of the hat. You make an iconic bounty hunter character with a hat, and then you give some random person the same.
That's what I thought. Like, so I thought the same thing. I couldn't remember the name of the character, but I was like,
is too much of a major character.
I don't know if you heard me during the movie. I went, oh no, you know, when he was coming.
I thought you just were thinking that.
I thought it was that one.
You thought it was Cad Bane?
Yeah. But anyway, still a bad guy.
Yeah.
So
I feel like he's too major of a character in Star Wars in general to put him in there. But
I don't know. So that was what I was thinking. So then they had their thing, and then Rada with the twins.
Yeah, with the twins. Yeah.
And then I thought that Grogu saving Rada with the Force was a little much, but I'll take
sense.
it.
Yeah,
it's just like
he didn't really use the Force too much. He force healed. He did the stuff with the dog. Yeah, that was about it.
But he noticed he can use the Force now and not just conk out afterwards. So that's quite helpful. But yeah, so I enjoyed that last scene. But yeah, so that was, you know, and then he goes, but I didn't, you know, he goes back to the New Republic again at the end there. But yeah, so those were the things that I like the most, I think. Yeah. You know, and also we covered the things that I found distracting, like the lamp. And the fact that I
honestly wasn't even thinking about the lamp.
And the fact that we didn't get to see some of our, you know, characters that, you know, I thought would have been well placed. But, you know, all in all, I really enjoyed the film. Yeah. You know, so now I guess I'll look at what other people were thinking and you know, disagree with them.
I don't know.
Right? I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But so you have any more thoughts? Did we cover all of your main points?
I really liked the Anzellans. I love them.
Yes.
I'm gonna be.
Actually, they had more for the Anzellans to do here, you know, so they were quite, you know.
Good shot, baby.
Good shot, baby.
Yeah.
So we'll be using those. It's funny, these little quotes that you get after you see a film. But good shot, baby. But I knew that.
Oh, that's a big pipe.
But I guess it was on Stephen Colbert when he was still on. They showed that scene where they're in the land speeder and he's trying to get Grogu to, power up the ship, and he's firing the weapons
missiles,
instead. I don't think he knows what he's doing. So I already knew that was coming because they did the reveal in. I think it was with Stephen Colbert. Maybe. They put that in there. But yeah, I saw it already before, so I already knew that was coming. So that of course was fun. But Mandalorian and Grogu. Do we need a second movie? I don't think so.
Do we need another season? Maybe not, because I have a feeling that Mando's gonna die.
Do we need a season 4? Maybe. I mean, if there's a season 4, I'll watch it. But like, I feel like we've come full circle on things. But yeah, so I did enjoy the movie. Go see it if you haven't seen it. It's worth seeing. It's worth seeing in the theater.
Yeah. Well, at this point, at the point that's releases, it won't be in theaters anymore.
I don't know. I have no idea. But hopefully you have seen it in the theater if you have not. So yeah. Anything else for you to say? I think we're done. Yeah. Okay, and actually, we don't have any podcast planned, but we'll think of something. So again, we put out a podcast every month, and so we'll I don't know what's coming up next. I think you'll see some stuff coming up on Good Omens. So if you haven't seen that and you're seeing this, go back. Well, we talked about Good Omens season 3. We did some more 21 Pilot stuff. So please go back and check out some of the other stuff that we have done if you've enjoyed this. And please let us know if you have any further thoughts in the comments. We would love to engage with you. All right. Okay, so I guess that's it for this podcast. So as usual, we will end by thanking you for being part of the Birds on Power Lines podcast.